Alright, hey, what's up guys? Shadow Steel here, and welcome to I don't know what exactly I'm going to call this series. I'm going to joke around with the name Road Trip for now, but yeah, we're in American Truck Simulator today, as we, take a few loads of cargo here and there, and yes, I've already recorded this footage, so get off my back there, would ya? Yeah, I had to pre-record a lot of this footage for release because, let's face it, what the hell am I going to say during the middle of a driving simulator? There's not much to say, really, but there is stuff to talk about at least. So, what I'm going to do here, to kind of give you the feel like, oh, we're on the road and we're like listening to the radio. I'm actually going to put a radio filter on my audio while I'm talking, and probably put quote unquote bumper music every so often to kind of signify that I've got a new topic and stuff like that. So hang on here while I get things set up, shall we? That fucking hell, I can't talk. Hey, what's up guys, Shadow Steel here. I know I've done this intro already, but now with the filter on, let's go ahead and start this again. So, yeah, so I'm playing American Truck Simulator now, and it's gotten, this is more or less a request from a viewer. A friend of mine, really wanted me to do some videos in American Truck Simulator and Euro Truck Simulator 2, so I'll get around to that eventually, but I struggled for the longest time to try and figure out a way to do these videos. I came up with this kind of idea in that it's kind of an audio podcast on top of me driving around or something like that. So if you want to listen to me ramble on while you drive on American Truck Simulator or one of your games or something like that, then by all means, this is for you. But for the most part, it's not going to be very entertaining, really. Because all the camera, most of the camera angles is inside the truck, stuff like that. You're not going to get a lot of outside views, and maybe you'll get a couple of times where I'm taking screenshots from here and there. But as a whole, this is not the most YouTuber-friendly game, I guess you could say. And that's actually something I want to talk about, really, in the whole thing, is the YouTube copyright claim thing. So I've struggled with this for a very long time, and that is the whole copyright claim system that YouTube has enacted, and not just YouTube, but everybody has acted on this. Podcasts have now pretty much started censoring themselves because of music licensing issues and everything like that. I mean, my favorite radio show, Dave Glover Show, now has to comply with some sort of new rule or some sort of existing rule that they didn't have to follow before as strongly, that they have to cut out the music in their podcast. And I'm like, well, what the fuck? First off, you're not going to stop piracy, and that's what this is what it's trying to curb, is piracy. It's trying to keep people from pirating music, ripping it off, and then selling it somewhere else. So you're not going to stop that. Let's face the facts. Piracy is a thing. Everybody does it to some extent or another, whether you realize it or not. Jesus Christ. I'm planning this huge month of videos called Star Wars Month, and I've released a trailer already. But I immediately ran into the issue in that realizing I can't use any of the in-game music in these old Star Wars games. Why? Because YouTube is a bitch. And I know this is going to be a problem on YouTube itself, but hey, let's face it. Yeah, it's just, there's more vulgar language about YouTube out there than on YouTube than you realize. But let's. This is. Yeah, I mean, last time I played one of these Star Wars games on my channel was a few years ago. And guess what was flagged? The hub area, which was on Terrace, I believe it was called, in Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Now, the music, which I cannot play for some god-awful reason because it mutes the video, does have a resemblance at some point of the Binary Sunset theme from Star Wars Episode 4. That's the whole thing. The whole Star Wars, the Binary Sunset. The whole, like, it's basically the main theme of Star Wars. That's it. And when I first released that video, it was triggered by the YouTube copyright thing and muted the video. Now, I can understand it muting the video when it goes through the whole opening credit scenes where it's like the wall text is scrolling up and stuff like that, because that is the base audio. That's literally straight from the films for the most part. Very rarely do they use audio that's not from the film. And if they do use audio that's not from the films, it's usually remastered or redone in a way where it fits the game more than it does fit the actual, like, movie and whatnot. I mean, the perfect example, again, of this is the opening scenes and beginning segments of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. The opening credit scene literally starts out the same way as any other Star Wars movie would, but as soon as it starts into the cinematic where it shows the Endar Spire being attacked, which is a Hammerhead cruiser, by the way. I've been going down this weird rabbit hole of Star Wars stuff lately. But anyway, it was one of those things that really, like, it really does get you in the mood of Star Wars again. And with this new film around the corner, I do actually see myself going back into this world that I had forgotten about for years now. Like the whole lore and everything behind it. It was really something I was involved with for a while. Not to the nerd out point, but, you know, that kind of thing. And, you know, hobbies of mine have always been in one extreme or another. I either have, like, I'm full on, like, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to get, or I'm, like, holding back, like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't do this anymore. Maybe I'm done for now, or something like that. I get worn out. And the idea of a long month of videos, of Star Wars videos, has always appealed to me. I mean, the idea of Star Wars Month has been around for a long time. The first instance of it was in 2016, and like I said, that's when I first noticed that the video of Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic was muted, so I actually had to go in and figure out some issues with it. Now, it turned out that this was not the only case of videos being muted on my channel. A long time ago, there was a video of Fallout 4 where I had the Pip-Boy radio on. I wasn't even aware of it, and the YouTube copyright claim caught the music that was playing on the Pip-Boy and copyrighted it, and, you know, claimed it, muting the section of the video. And I had to actively go in, editing the video later on, and basically saying, yeah, they lost the audio here. I didn't lose the audio. The YouTube copyright claim system had muted the video. I'm like, God damn it. I didn't notice that until after releasing the Star Wars video and then putting two and two together about, let's say, a few minutes ago, shall we? Yeah, there you go. Over half a century ago, before diesels pulled trains, a different kind of locomotive ruled the rails. They hissed, they rumbled, and they roared. And if you stood next to one and felt the warmth of its boiler and heard its mysterious sound, you would swear it was alive. Every steam locomotive has a personality that makes them unique. Every engineer has a story to tell. However, the story of a small 462 Pacific from the Thomasville Railroad is one few can tell. Make sure to catch that story on Virtual Railfan Productions. Well, the next thing I do want to talk about to some extent is, let's just go ahead and continue with Star Wars for a little bit. And the trailer for, I think it's Rise of the Skywalkers. It's the 9th film in the Skywalker saga. And that's what this is called, actually. Episodes 1 through 9.
Right.
So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Those are all part of the Skywalker saga. So, Anakin, it literally is, like, one person said this in a video once, and it was like the journey of Darth Vader. Like, episodes 1 through 6 are the journey of Darth Vader. And he's completely right, because that's the point of that saga. It was kind of journeying not just Darth Vader, but his entire family. From start to finish, that lineage, like, how it ended up where it was. And in the trailer, there's a line that really caught me by surprise to some extent, but it wasn't, like, it was always curious, like, why is he back? I'm not spoiling it, but I will say the line. No one's really gone forever. So, that's the line, and then there's this, well, I use the same laugh in my trailer, so it's Palpatine. So, Palpatine's laugh is heard at the end of the trailer of the first trailer, and I'm sure you've had time to view it now. It's been a month, it's been almost a full year since that trailer dropped, I think. I think it was in early 2019 when it dropped, I'm not sure, but it's coming out this December. And there's a hint that Palpatine's coming back, but that leaves the question to many people, like, wait, how is he alive? He died in episode 6. He was thrown into a pit and blown up with the Death Star. Well, it turns out that in the expanded universe, the Legend series is what Disney calls it now, there's actually a book dedicated to this called The Dark Empire. And what this is, it's the kind of continuation after episode 6, but through Legends. And in these, I think it's one of the sagas, I think it's the Dark Empire saga, it's revealed that Palpatine has clones of himself, and that his spirit or soul or whatever goes into these other clones and whatnot, and if one clone dies, he goes into another body, and so on and so forth. It's very, very, very interesting to hear the concept anyway. Now, I've never read the books, but as someone who's been always into these more expanded universe kind of things, it's always been interesting to figure out what was going on between each episode, to figure out what was going on in, the world or the universe in this galaxy far, far away. And that's another thing I've always been curious about. It's referenced as being a galaxy far, far away. But there's no Earth, like Gavin asked, essentially, in a video on the Achievement channel. And it really is ancient humans fighting ancient aliens. And in the expanded universe, they kind of try and piece that together. Like, why are they here? Like, how is this even possible when Earth is millions of light years away, if not billions or trillions or something like that? Like, they're in another galaxy. Well, it's supposedly like a similar situation to our world in that there was just evolution, essentially. That humans evolved on a certain world and eventually grew to expand outside the galaxy, or expand outside their system. Now, I'm not exactly sure of the details, but Eckhart Slatter, I believe, did a great video on the whole idea, like, why does humanity rule this galaxy when this galaxy was so dominant by when there's so many other species in this galaxy that supposedly would have much more power over the humans. Well, he did a very good video on it, and it actually got me thinking to, like, well, was this really all planned by another being? Now, I like to say I'm an agnostic. I want to believe that there's something out there, but I'm not going to be too upset if there's nothing there. I mean, maybe there's like something like reincarnation like Palpatine has, but who knows? You may be like in a replay or something. I don't know. But I've never been so afraid of like suddenly dying in my sleep or something like that. Because if I die, I die. I'm not. It's not a. It's like we all die eventually. And not to get religious here, but in the Star Wars universe, it's referenced that there's a type of being called the Celestials. Now I'm not, again, like I said, I'm not sure on the details, but if like these angels, kind of things, I don't know. It's actually interesting because they're in the Clone Wars, Star Wars: The Clone Wars show on Disney now. They actually take a poke at this. Well, mainly because in Episode 1, Anakin asked Padme if she's an angel. Well, it's never really expanded upon, but it turns out he must have met an actual Celestial at one point in his life or something. Like, he knew what they were. He's very sensitive to that. So, yeah, it's very interesting. Like, when you start going deeper into these expanded universes, it's very, very cool to piece together what could possibly be the most crazy world, not just created by George Lucas, but the people around him. Because he was not fully involved after Episode 4. Sure, he had to do some filming because of minor mishaps and whatnot that, of course, that weren't in his control. But, like I said, it's mostly down to the idea that, this universe was created outside, like, with permission of LucasArts, but I don't think George Lucas was, like, really hands-on on a lot of projects. Now, if there was a project that actually interested him, then, by all means, he was very interested in the project. And he would try and make suggestions. Well, one such thing was actually seen in The Force Unleashed, is that Starkiller's name. His name is actually a reference to Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker was actually originally meant to be named Luke Starkiller. So, Starkiller in The Force Unleashed is essentially what he was supposed to be. Which, honestly, was kind of weird, to say the least. But anyway, you get my point. It's very, very interesting when you start looking into these little pieces and these expanded universes that you don't know what you're going to find. From the frozen seas of the Arctic to the boiling heat of the tropics, massive warships duke it out on the high seas. From the most powerful battleships to the tiniest destroyers, ships of all sizes come together in a show of force. It's a battle like no other, as we take on players from around the world. Now, state-of-the-art computer graphics, you are part of the action, as some of the most famous warships in modern history come together for a battle of supremacy. Experience the battle. Dissect the tactics. Relive the world of warships. Be sure to check out Operation Guardian here on the Otaku Gamer.
There's a point where it dips, there's a point where it breaks, there's a point where it bends, and a point we just can't take anymore. There's a line that will cross.
Alright, thank you guys for watching this video. This is the first time I've ever really done something like this. So if you enjoyed it, leave a comment down below and tell me if you want more. So, again, like and comment down below, subscribe if you guys want more, and I might do another one in the future. Take care, everyone.